I'm Tim Rand, a student at the University of Missouri. Today I'll be talking to you about soil tests, specifically testing for nitrogen. Why test your soil? First and foremost, it makes your operation more efficient. Testing your soil is important because it allows you to take an assessment of your field and find out where the shortcomings are nutritionally. What can we learn from a soil test? Nutrient levels, specifically for us nitrogen, are the main reason people get their soils tested. The test will also give you some soil pH, organic matter level, and how much lime and fertilizer to add, as well as other management tips for growing your crop based on your yield goals and test results. How to take a soil sample. First, divide the field into uniform areas of the same color, texture, and cropping history. One sample should represent no more than 20 acres on level, uniform landscapes, or 5 acres on hilly land. You'll need a plan of how to go about taking your samples. If previous fertilizer applications have been broadcasted, you will want to take 20 to 30 samples in a zigzag fashion, randomly taking samples throughout your sample area. If fertilizer had been banded, you'll want to take 15 to 20 samples at varying distances from the band in the sample area. Now, next collect your tools, which include a shovel or soil probe and a clean bucket. Make sure your bucket has never had fertilizer in it. Next, you will need to know how to take a proper sample. With a soil probe, it is easy enough. You just push the soil probe in the ground about 8 or 9 inches deep. You will discard the top surface layer and plant material, and keep the 6 to 7 inches below that, discarding the rest. If you're using a shovel, you will need to go about the sample differently. First, cut out a triangle wedge of soil about 8 or 9 inches deep. Now, slide your blade into the soil, again taking a thin slice from one side of the hole. With a knife, trim the slice to about 1 inch strip of soil down the center of the spade, top to bottom. Trim the top layer off again as before, only keeping 6 to 7 inches. Save this as your sample. It is important to keep your samples from different areas separate. Precision agriculture and soil test. When using equipment such as GPS receivers and GIS programs, a producer is able to reduce the size of their parcels for management. This reduction in size allows the producer to treat a larger field as many smaller ones, which enables the use of variable rate fertilizer application. This makes for better use of the nitrogen that is added to the field because it is only added where it is needed. What are some sources of nitrogen in your field? There are several sources of nitrogen available to plants, such as from organic matter, from sources like crop residue and manure, nitrogen fixed by legumes such as soybeans and alfalfa, and artificial fertilizer added by the producer. How often should you test your soil? You can test your soil at any point in time of the year, but it is best to do so when the soil is moist in the spring or fall. This will make taking your samples easier because if the soil is too dry, it will not want to stick together as easily, affecting your test results. In terms of how often you should test, every 3 to 4 years will allow you to keep track of the fertility changes in the field. For further information, please contact your local MU Extension agent.
Created using Powtoon.